Hey, look, so D. So look, we almost wrapping up here, but I want to ask you. You fought Tyson Fury 2 times. The first time was it was a draw. Do you feel that you won that fight, or are you okay with the draw? You think that was right?
Hands down, hands down. I won that fight hands down. You know, and not only with me knocking him out and giving him more time because he felt like it would be the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Because of the type of fight that it was. It was a highly anticipated fight. You know, it had a lot on the line. And, you know, sometimes these referees go out of their character of feeling like, well, I'm going to do what's best for the sport instead of what's best for you know, what is in the rules of what's going on and stuff like that. You know, there was a lot going on in this fight, but we ain't going to get into all that. You know what I'm saying? But the main focus is, you know.
You think you won for sure?
I definitely knocked him out. Look how many times you got. My referee at that time I had that week. And if you go back and look at any of his fights, you know what I'm saying? He stops a lot of fights early. Sometimes they don't even get to get up. They waving it off. When I knocked Fury out, I literally seen it for my own self. That's one of the reasons why I was so surprised too, you know what I'm saying? Not only with the count, but I seen this man's eyes going, you know how you have in this second, your eyes roll back to your head? That's how his shit was. But I seen the veins popping out his head, and I knew he had a concussion. He was gone. That's a wave off, period. He hollering in his ear and all, whatever you think. Y'all seen this shit, you know what I'm saying? Go back and look at it. You know,
I got you. No, that's real. I got you. That's real talk. So, a little bit too much precaution, basically. You feel I got you, like worrying about you going to your corner maybe more than just saying, hey man, this thing is done. We all saw that. You knocked that man out cold, but he got it. You know, respect. He got up, and that's cool. But it took a little time. But bro, you did that, D, and you still doing that. So okay, that's what it said.
That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I know that's kind of lame a little bit to not name a name, but.
No.
Anyone that ain't fake that's at the top, I'm talking about you.
I got you, D. That's right. Like, all right, for instance, I got you, D. Me and my boy in here, I see international Thad. He's a good dude doing this. He has a great podcast, collabing the UK music and the American music, basically. But anyways, he said AJ and Ruiz, you know, Andy Ruiz or AJ, right? You know.
Yeah. I'm saying any fight that's at the top and people happy to see me fight, and people strongly want to see me fight. That's who I want to fight, you know? Because I can see their names all day. That's the easy part, but I'm just gonna go to the top. If you go to the top and there's something that I ain't for, that's who I want to fight. I mean, I want to clean this division out. You know what I'm saying? Period. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Think I'm gone or I stop boxing, which I haven't. You know what I'm saying? I got another life outside of boxing. Thank God. You know what I mean?
Deontay Wilder said something in his latest interview that gives you insight into the kind of character and what he regards as being important. It's those little gems, if you can call them that, if you are paying attention, that you will find gives you an insight into what he regards as being important. And he does it deliberately because he wants you to know what kind of person he is. But unfortunately, Deontay Wilder fans refuse to see it. There is an old saying, or maybe it's not that old, I'm not sure, that if a person shows you who they are, you should believe him. Many Deontay Wilder fans refuse to believe that Deontay Wilder is who he says he is. They'd rather create a romantic notion, a romantic sort of fairy tale figure, hero, of the kind of person they expect Deontay Wilder to be. Heroic, almost like a German Siegfried who got sprayed by the blood of a dragon and of course became horny. And that's what I want to get to here when I said that he said something that gave me, has always given me insight into the kind of person he is and the things that he takes seriously. He said that when he hit Tyson Fury, that he saw it with his own eyes, that the eyes of Tyson Fury rolled into the back of his head, and then he tried to conjure up an image that he felt was relevant, but more so to sort of give the interviewer or whoever was listening the impression of what he takes seriously and the kind of person he is. He said, you know, when you have good sex, and it's so good that your eyes roll into the back of your head. Now, unless you're some kind of reptile or some kind of animal, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I mean, you can have good sex, but you're not a woman. If you're a woman, I suppose, yeah. You can see women when they have an orgasm and their eyes roll into the back of their head because they have a strong heart. But as a man, I think that's a very effeminate trait. And I think if you're a woman, you could probably relate to it more than you are a man. But even if we were to eliminate the whole gender aspect, not be gender specific about it. At the same token, what he's trying to communicate to the guys that listen to him is that he raises the issue of sex, the act of sex, above most other things. And when he wants to draw an analogy, that's where he will go. Now, we could go into all other things that he says. It's very tedious to listen to Deontay Wilder, as you all know. Deontay Wilder is an extremely difficult person to take seriously. And I even feel that the people that support him don't take him too seriously. They just decide to pass off what they find necessary in order to create a narrative that they feel strong enough and can hold water as they push this Deontay Wilder cart further down the lane, inch by inch, at a very slow pace. It is what it is. That is their burden, and they seem to be a beast of burden in regards to the Deontay Wilder narrative. I find that some people enjoy the punishment, and so be it. Long may it last. But in as much as the rest of us, I suppose that we all know that when Deontay Wilder speaks about these things, you can only take it with a pinch of salt. Take, for example, the fact that he believes that he won the first fight. He's entitled to believe what he wants to believe, but the truth of the matter is he didn't win the fight. He should have knocked the guy out, but he needs to ask himself. This is the second occasion where he's attacked the referee. He's attacked the black referee, he's attacked the white referee. He's attacked the referee who supposedly did a count that he believed was too long, and he's attacked another referee who actually tried to help him. The black referee tried to help him and take points away. He still attacked the referee. He's shown you exactly who he is. He can never be satisfied. He will always find a reason and an excuse to place the responsibility and onus of his own failures onto other people. Yet the Deontay Wilder fan will insist that he is not culpable for anything, that the blame does indeed lie with other people, whether it's the commission, the WBC, the Kinahan NTK Global cartel, whatever they could find, whatever they can reach for, whatever suits their purpose, whatever pleases them, whatever gives them a certain sense of victimization, this sort of the satisfaction and joy they find in victimization, on being victims, forgive me. And I feel that's what Deontay Wilder himself is about. Deontay Wilder believes that he won the first fight. He actually believes that he outboxed Tyson Fury in the first 5 rounds. And with the knockout, he won by God knows what. You know what I mean? It's not even just by the knockout. If you were to listen to Deontay Wilder, he actually believes that he cleared the first 5 rounds. Now, as I said, he's entitled to believe whatever he wants to believe. But let's even go into the other aspect, the other issue, where he says he's looking for the top guys, he wants to fight the top guys. The truth is, he knows that's not going to happen. He's not going to get at Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz has got to work his way back. Andy Ruiz isn't stupid. Andy Ruiz wants to fight Chris Arreola, and after Chris Arreola, he might get another person. And then you've got Anthony Joshua, who's preoccupied with this Tyson Fury fight. Whoever wins or loses in that fight, they're going to have a rematch. He's out of the loop. It's as simple as that. So he's going to be on the bench for quite a while if he doesn't take one of these other fights that allow him to make a comeback and actually look good and reintroduce him to the public. And you know, people are starting to forget about him gradually. People are starting to forget about him gradually. Now let me tell you something that this is just something that I always say. There is this need to redefine what boxing is, in order to suit boxing around, or sort of make Deontay Wilder central to boxing. But I tell you this, I have never believed the people that argued that Deontay Wilder was great because he gave interesting fights. I thought his fights were horrific to watch. I thought they were full of illegal blows. They were sloppy. They were disgusting to watch. You know, the only things that made those fights important was when he started attacking Anthony Joshua. Without Anthony Joshua, those fights were absolutely atrocious. An absolute total disgrace to boxing. I'll tell you what, the reason why I often frown at people when they say, I respect Deontay Wilder, blah, blah, blah. If you just respect the knockout spine, the brute force spine, I can dig it. But then again, I can't. You see, because Deontay Wilder actually is what I thought boxing was about when I didn't like boxing. Deontay Wilder actually accurately captures what I thought boxing was about until I really understood boxing. And thank God for people like, as a matter of fact, Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd Mayweather, who made it look so beautiful, made it look like a true art. And then you started looking back, you started working your way back from there and looking at Muhammad Ali. Because let me tell you something, Muhammad Ali was bigger than the sport of boxing. Therefore, you didn't necessarily, most of the time, pay that much attention to what he was doing in the ring until later. You know what I mean? It's almost like it was a man first and the boxing second when it came to Muhammad Ali, because he was just that kind of person. And then you had Sugar Ray Leonard, okay, and what he did in the ring. You understand me? You sort of way back, and it kind of reminds you. But Deontay Wilder actually represents what you kind of felt boxing was about when it had no shape, no form, and it was just ugly shit. Okay, and for people to sort of, I mean, Luis Ortiz, who I don't like, accurately described it, and he got shot down, by the way, told the truth about Deontay Wilder. He said what he was doing in the ring was borderline criminal. And that's part of the reason, and I cannot believe a person like that. And I told you that he has showed you on numerous occasions what kind of person he is, and you should believe him. Truth is, Deontay Wilder would hit people behind the head constantly. He deliberately aimed for it. But should you even whistle past his head, he would point it out to the referee. He would go running to the referee, and I thought to myself, isn't this some shit? This is a guy who aims for the back of the head with people. Does it deliberately? You could turn your back. He could have you. He would club you kind of back. He went looking for it because he wanted to kill somebody in the ring. But God forbid you should even move close to the back of his head. I don't think he's ever been hit at the back of the head as such, except in the fight with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury decided to give him a taste of his own fucking medicine, and it came up really short. Gave him a good clubbering, and you couldn't feel sorry for him. I couldn't feel sorry for him. Tyson Fury, in all honesty, all Tyson Fury did was fight, get dirty and fight him, and that's all part of boxing. And you can't feel sorry for Deontay Wilder, because Deontay Wilder was a dirty, nasty, ugly, ugly fighter who everybody made excuses for. They wanted, the windmill. Well, there was a legendary windmill before, Harry Greb. So, fuck that. The guy was fucking disgusting. And even back then, Harry Greb himself was challenged. But people who went in the ring with him, of course, like Gene Turney and stuff, believed that, there was some method method to his madness. I can't say the same for Deontay Wilder, I'm sorry. I think Deontay Wilder was just he's a cheat, and he's a liar, and everything about him, okay, comes up short, even as a man. It is what it is. Thank you very much for listening, and goodbye.